So welcome to a brief video on the history and safety of chiropractic, and it's a little bit more interesting than you might expect. So if we jump back to 1895 in the United States of America, there was a therapist called D.D. Palmer. He saw a patient one day called Harvey Lillard. This Harvey Lillard was a janitor. He had had a fall down the stairs some 17 years before, felt a pop in his neck, and then lost hearing in one of his ears, and he'd stayed that way for 17 years. Dede theorized that maybe there was a bone out of place, placing pressure on the nerve going to and from his ear. And so he looked for things out of place in his spine. He found something and he pressed on it. And sure enough, over the coming days and the multiple times he pressed on the bone, the hearing for Harvey Lillard became restored. Now, what Dede had done is he had found the first vertebral subluxation that we have recorded. That's pressure on a nerve resulting from a bone being out of place that was stopping the body from working correctly. Now, Dede's practice soon became overwhelmed with patients hearing these stories of what he was doing. He started to develop this art, which he named chiropractic, which meant treatment with hand or doing with hand. And so he ended up with waiting lists to come and see him because he was caring for all sorts of problems, and his success was such that he started the first school of chiropractic in 1897. At the same time, in 1895, X-ray as a way of taking a picture of your skeleton was found and invented. And so one of the first X-ray clinics in the world was a chiropractic clinic. And at this point in time, chiropractic was booming. So you need to know that at this period in history, the medical system was not at all like we know it today. In fact, it didn't exist as we know it today. The medical system literally got invented by two entrepreneurs. In fact, two of the richest men in recorded history. Carnegie and Rockefeller literally owned the steel and oil industries, and they saw a new product that was chemically synthesized drugs as a big new business. And so they set about constructing a way in which they could license and sell this business. The problem was at the time that there was a multitude of different therapies that people were using to get themselves well. They were using natural remedies, they were using naturopathy, they were using homeopathy, they were using chiropractic. There were many different things that people did at that point in time to get themselves better. So what do two clever entrepreneurs do if they see a lot of competition in a field in which they plan to dominate? Well, they paid staff to commission something called the Flexner Report. Now, the Flexner Report is now understood to be the foundation of the modern medical system that we know today. And the Flexner Report's findings were that all forms of natural healing, which did not use drugs, chemically synthesized drugs, were dangerous and unregulated, and the medical system needed to be regulated and made safe. So the outcome was that in 1910, where logic would have said that drugs and surgery should be the last option in any healthcare, the Flexner Report ensured that they would be the only option. The recommendations of the Flexner Report were passed as law in Congress, and in the following decades, nearly all natural healing therapies were literally wiped out. Their schools were closed, their practitioners were banned or imprisoned, and it was a very clever ploy to guarantee the monopoly of what we now know as the pharmaceutical industry. But chiropractic managed to survive as a bit of a surprise. And you see, the tragic Spanish flu pandemic of 1918 actually did chiropractic a bizarre service. The Spanish flu pandemic killed over 20 million people in the USA alone. However, there were a few areas in which huge sections of the population survived despite contracting the flu. And when they looked at it in Iowa and Oklahoma, records were being kept which showed the patients under chiropractic care had a 40-fold increased survival rate. So the irony was the chiropractic did not survive, did not become licensed because it was good at treating back pain or neck pain or headaches or herniated discs, but because it helped people who contracted the Spanish flu pandemic, having wiped out most of the competition. In 1963, the American Medical Association, representing 270,000 medical doctors, yes, the same people who make the recommendations on what care patients should get, right till today, they set up a committee to discredit and destroy the chiropractic profession. Their goal, in writing, was the complete elimination of the chiropractic profession. Now, why would they want to stop a group of people who are going around pushing on people's spines to try and improve their health? Why would they feel so threatened by them? So they falsified evidence saying chiropractic was unsafe. They published articles. They banned their doctors from referring to chiropractors. The impact on chiropractic was that more and more chiropractic doctors sought to treat within the medical paradigm. You see, one of the side effects of chiropractic care is that people with back pain, people with neck pain, people with herniated disc, people with headaches, and many other complaints get better. And so more and more chiropractors gave up treating the person vitalistically and started treating pains like a part of the person's body mechanistically. By trying to fit in, they started taping people, they started prescribing exercise, they even started prescribing drugs in some cases, becoming more and more like physiotherapists or more and more like medical doctors. And so a split happened between those in the profession trying to fit in with the medical establishment and those who were more interested in the benefit of the patient in treating the patient vitalistically. Now, I personally studied chiropractic in a medical school. I learned how to treat herniated discs, back pain, orthopedic conditions, and indeed the first part of my career was working with surgeons and acute pain and dealing with people's pain and conditions rather than dealing with the whole person. It took a lot of training, a lot of reading, and an open mind for me to become, truthfully, a much better practitioner, for me to learn to look at the person as a whole, to forget about what they feel that their symptom might be, and instead look at how their body is functioning and how we can make the best out of that. And in that, yes, things like back pain and neck pain and headaches get better, but a whole lot more. So in 1976, some 13 years after the AMA started their campaign to shut down chiropractic, a group of chiropractors started legal proceedings. 11 years later, in 1987, the AMA were found guilty and ordered to pay damages and issue retractions. However, the damage had already been done. One of the problems that the AMA had was that the evidence said that chiropractic was very effective, and they could find no evidence to show that chiropractic was any form of danger to the public. Put this in perspective. In the Western world today, the most likely thing you're going to die of is heart disease. Now, if heart disease in first place doesn't get you, cancer is the second most likely thing. But in third place, following heart disease and cancer, if you don't die of heart disease or cancer, it will be a medical drug or procedure which is most likely to kill you. Medicine is currently the third leading cause of death in the Western world. Compare that, in my practice, I've been practicing for 18 years and I've seen patients from 3 hours old to 100 years old. I've delivered in the region of 450,000 adjustments. Yes, I know, it doesn't look like it, but I really have delivered that many adjustments. And of all of my patients, the worst that's ever happened is that somebody's been sore for a limited period of time afterwards. Chiropractic in qualified hands is extremely safe. We now live in a world where chiropractic means different things to different people. In most of the developed countries during the COVID-19 outbreak, chiropractors were asked to stay open for their public to keep people healthy, to keep people out of emergency rooms in medical hospitals, and to keep the medical staff working on the front line active and able to treat the crisis. In the meantime, in countries like Spain, chiropractic has yet to even be recognized or regulated as a health profession. So I personally feel very lucky to have chosen chiropractic as a career. I feel blessed to have realized that treating the person as a whole in a vitalistic way is the most powerful way I can change lives. And I feel blessed in that respect, not just for me, but also for my family and for the health that's gifted them. And also for the gift that I get on a daily basis of seeing the amazing miracles and transformations that happen in our practice. Thank you for watching.